Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 11, module 2. Today's title is Stop Relying on Social Media. So, this kind of carries over into stop texting. But the problem that so many guys have is when they speak to women, right? When they talk to women, it's always through the phone. And the problem is that Tinder and Bumble and Snapchat has really enabled you guys from speaking clearly and concise in your speech. And it's also kind of robbed you of your nuts between your legs to just go out and talk to the girl, or to even, for some guys, even to just call the woman on the phone. They're petrified. They're scared. You got to knock that shit off. If she sees you have the balls to do what 95% of most guys won't, which is like call her, not only that, if she's acting out of pocket on you, to call her out on her bullshit, right, she's going to like you a lot more. Now, here's the thing, fellas. We don't want to get into snap streaks with women. We don't want to get into text game with women. We don't want to do all this because you guys are high value. You guys are on your purpose. We only want to be messing with women who have high interest in us. We don't have time as high value men to play all these games. We don't have time as high value men to chase these women around on cell phones as she's out sleeping with 2 other dudes. Like, we don't got time for that. Me, I only mess around right now in my life with genuine women who have genuine interest in me, for me being on my purpose and me being on my path and me being high value, trying to develop my future. Women notice that and women take action into that. And then I only keep women around if they're constantly making an effort to see me and constantly in my life. Now, once I have sex with them, once I connect with them one-on-one, I pull back. Okay, I pull back in person. I pull back through the phone too, because now it's her job to pursue. You got to remember something. Women are never going to take their passion and purpose in careers as tough as you should be. They're not going to. They're biologically not hardwired to it. They're biologically hardwired to find a strong mate and have kids with him. Men are hardwired to be successful and climb through their purpose, to be dedicated and to be an alpha male. So they're 2 different ways of thinking. Her job is to be chasing. Her job is to be locking you down. Once you already connect with her, dude, just like pull back. Start to pull back, and if she gives you any flack for it, if she starts to call you out on it, you just say, honey, like, you know where daddy stands with you. You know I like you, right? You don't you're not openly validate saying, oh baby, I wish I could see you so much, I love you so much. But no, you just say, you keep it refreshed. You say, you know where daddy stands with you. And then you just tell her that daddy's focused on his purpose. Daddy's focused on his passion, right? You start calling yourself that. You start acting like that around her. It keeps her feminine. It keeps her seductive. These are the things you can't do through the phone. Okay, so stop relying on Tinder. Stop relying on social media. Do you think Drake or Leonardo DiCaprio or Chris Brown or Brad Pitt is going to be on Tinder? No. They're out busy making movies and writing rap songs. You got to figure out how to be that of your own life. If you're an insurance agent, be the best goddamn insurance agent you can. Have your name plastered all over the town. If you need insurance, this is the guy to call. If you're a real estate agent, have your name all over town. If you're a YouTuber, like I am, I want that subscriber count up. You know, I'm on my path, I'm on my purpose, I'm building brand, I'm building legacy. That's what you have to do. So stop relying on social media. Focus on yourself. Build yourself. And then when a woman does come into your life, a few texts should be all it takes to set the date and meet up. She already thinks you're high value. She already is starting to get this image of you that your time is limited. Tell her straight up on the text, say, listen, my time is very limited. If you want to kick it and meet up, I think you might be a cool girl. I already know I'm a cool guy. Let's see if we have a little bit of fun together, right? Something like that. Make it happen. She sees that you're just ready and straightforward to get on to the date. Women like straightforward men. So just stop beating around the bush. Don't be a fucking pussy. Just go make it happen. Hi everybody, welcome to module 3 of week 11, and today I'm going to be telling you why you must escalate through the phone slightly. Okay, you must escalate through text a little bit. Now remember, you can't get her to like you over the phone. You can't get her to think you're high value over the phone, but what you can do is you can escalate to show that you have a little bit of swag and a little bit of confidence to you. You know, instead of logical conversation with women, all texting should be as nonsense bullshit. Because here's why. Have you ever been at the bar and you get into the 10 to 15 minute get to know you conversation with the girl? See, that's that girl in her rational brain. That's that girl in her rational thinking. That's her in her masculine state. And then what happens is the guy tries to get her to go home with him, and the problem is that she doesn't feel any sort of sexual energy towards that guy because he didn't know how to spike her emotions. You see, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get out of that logical brain. Now, if I was with a girl And I kept asking her get to know you questions like, what's your major in college, or why did you pick that school, and all that stuff. And I start saying that. All that's going to do is she's going to one-word answer me, and she's just going to tell me the logical truth. But if I say something like, girl, I think you might be the craziest girl I've ever met in my entire fucking life, well, now I just created attraction. Because if I said it while I'm smiling or smirking a little bit and she knows I'm being a sarcastic prick, she's going to go, oh my God, why? Blah, 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 blah. Okay? You just got to say some dumb shit to women. Say some stupid shit. See, no one's going to tell you this. No one's going to tell you that women are fucking psychotic. No one's going to tell you that women are not logical at all. Like, if you want to seduce a lot of women, you can completely basically act a fool and say whatever you want and be a total cocky prick and just basically say whatever. Like, literally, I've said anything to women. Like, hey, you know what would be really hot is if you just sucked my penis right now and then licked it like a popsicle. Or, hey, you should squirt some whipped cream on my dick and lick it off. Like, and if you're so blunt about it like that, they're going to be so taken back. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, my God, do you think I'm a slut? But in reality, they're thinking, oh, God, I want to fuck this kid. Like, I'm telling you, if you can just learn to have this, like, cocky grin on your face when you talk to women and keep it sexual, she's going to appreciate that. But you must escalate through text a little bit, okay? So let's get back to the premise of this topic. You must escalate through text a little bit, saying something like, you know, I only deal with fun girls, so I hope that you can prove to me when we meet up that you're kind of fun. Okay, that's a slight escalation. That's you slightly flirting. You know, I'm not the best at text game either, like I said. Most girls who know me, they know me from, like, YouTube. They know me from Instagram. They know me because I've coached a lot of other men. I have slightly higher status in my hometown, you know, than other people do. But the thing is, I've kind of carried that same kind of confidence when I travel or whenever I meet other women. Like, you have to really have that base, you know, because if you're liked in one spot, you can be liked in others. But notice how I made myself kind of like high value in the first place. I got on my path. I got on my career. You can't fake that. You can't fake high value. That's what I'm saying. But to escalate through the phone, you just have to say some shit that isn't logical and that's flirty. You know, like really anything. If you've been texting a girl back and forth for a couple days, you could say something like, if we met up on the date and you went home with me, I would 100% judge you. But I definitely won't tell anybody if you do decide to do it, right? That right there, you're saying something like, you know, you're putting that out there, that you're winking at the hint that, like, hey, this is probably going to go somewhere. I'm kind of the guy you should try to get to know. You know, you could even say that, you know, my time's very limited. I'm probably the type of guy that you're going to want to get to know. So I would recommend you, you know, let me think how I'd phrase that. I would recommend you figuring out time in your schedule quick before all the other girls get back to me, you know, or something like that. Something where you're framing it that you're high value. Like I said, I'm not a text game person. I'm not a game person. Notice how all the other modules just roll off for me. And when it comes to this game stuff, it's like a little bit forced and fake. It's because that's what you're doing over text, is you're faking high value, right? What I'd rather do is I would rather pick up the phone and FaceTime the bitch and be like, yo, what's up? Are you fun? Are you flirty? Can you prove it to me? Like, can you? Can you actually prove it to me? Oh, are you sure? All right, sick. So me and you are going to go get pizza on Tuesday. What time are you free? Okay, perfect. I'm going to call you 30 minutes before. Make sure we're still good on time. Make sure I'm not running late. Make sure you're not running late. You know, wear something tight. Wear something cute for me. I'd like to see that. Boom, end of call. Like, it's much easier than you think. Stop thinking that you can attract a girl through fucking talking about her major and talking about her interests. It doesn't matter if you guys have similar interests. It doesn't matter if you guys have anything in common. You guys can be polar fucking opposite. You could be polar opposite with a girl and look at her and be like, you know, you're really fucking strange and we have nothing in common, but you're still kind of hot. And I usually don't give women that validation. But with you, I feel like you're going to bite my fucking dick off if I don't tell you that. Okay? So what did that just say? You just implied that if her dick was in your mouth, that she's vicious and she's going to bite it off. Now, that probably won't happen. It obviously won't. She'll probably suck your dick. But guess what? The fact that you just said that, if you're already kind of bonding with the girl a little bit, like, dude, She literally sees that you have the balls to just say whatever the fuck is on your mind. You won't go to jail for saying what's on your mind. Your mom won't take your birthday away, and your principal of your school isn't going to put you into trouble. Okay? Worst case scenario, actually best case scenario, she's going to get on the phone and tell all of her friends how this asshole prick just says whatever he wants, and she kind of digs it. You know? Like, the girls talk like that. Please stop thinking these women are so precious. They're humans. And they like to fuck just as much as you do, I promise. Hi everybody, welcome to Module 4 of Week 11, and this is a ninja tactic. This is a ninja skill. This is something that no dating coaches, no, masculinity coaches, nobody really talks about, especially when it comes to women. Every single time that you start to have okay text chemistry with a girl, that might come after 3 texts, that might come after 2 texts, that might come after 10 texts. Okay, when you can see that she's flirting back with you, what I would recommend doing before setting a date, and this is to prevent flaking, this is to prevent flake rates, is get her to FaceTime you, right? And I would even say this in the text. I'd say something like, before we meet up or before we kick it and have some fun, I kind of like to FaceTime just to get an idea of your personality or something a little bit first, right? That's a qualifier. Now, this is specifically if you met a girl online. This is if you are using Tinder or Bumble or something and you got like a number, that's where you can kind of use that and frame that in a way so you can get to know her so she feels more comfortable with your tone of voice, your speech. What you're trying to do is you're trying to take the whole I'm a complete fucking stranger out of the occasion. And then as soon as you get on FaceTime, follow all of the in-person game techniques that I told you previously. Remain high value, don't over-validate, remain illogical the entire time and spike her emotions, all of that good stuff. But if you are online dating, a FaceTime date can help so much. And the reason for that is because women are naturally a little bit shy. Women are naturally a little bit more insecure. So if there's, a dude that she has no idea about him, she has no idea about his personality or anything like that, well, she's naturally going to get all defensive. You don't want women defensive with you. You want women more or less really engaged with you. And to do that, you spike their emotions. You make them laugh, right? You be a little sarcastic and a little cocky. You flirt with them, all of that stuff. But if you've met a girl in person before, if you have met her, let's say, at a bar or a club or on the street, you still can FaceTime. More or less, game is your choice. But I would just do a phone call then. Because at the same time, it's like, why do you need to see her face then? FaceTime interactions are good if you guys really don't know each other. But that's what I would really recommend doing. Get it verbally first. If you've met her in person before already, get it verbally over the phone. If you don't know her, get her to FaceTime so you can actually see her face and see how she reacts. This is a ninja tactic. This is something most guys are too scared to fucking do. If you do it, I promise your close rate will be 100% higher. So do what I say. Hi everybody, welcome to Module 5 of Week 11. What you must know in this week is that you need to flirt with the idea of meeting up somewhere in your text. Let's say you guys set like a FaceTime date and you guys FaceTimed each other for a little bit. But let's say you didn't try to set a date right there on the FaceTime. What you need to start doing through text, and let's say you are high value to where you actually are booked. Like let's say your calendar and your schedule with work and your work life and maybe the other girls that you're seeing, let's say you're booked out like 4, 5, 6 days. Yeah, you're the type of guy, like me, I'm the type of guy, I can't go meet you tomorrow. Like if I showed you my calendar right now, whether that be through GoToWebinar for these webinars I host or for my calls I'm booking or even for this content I'm recording, like you got to realize how fucking busy I am. I'm 23 years old and I run one-on-one coaching, I run fitness coaching, I run masculinity and dating coaching, I help men with semen retention and porn addiction, and I film NLore for you guys so that way I can make sure that you guys remain high value and learn how to date women. Okay, I'm booked. I'm not bragging. I want you guys booked. So that way when you tell a girl, hey, my time's valuable, like I only have this day this week, and tell her straight up, be like, listen, I'm the type of guy, I don't like to play a lot of back and forth games. Be like, if you want to meet me, this is the time I'm available. But this is the only time I'm available for the next week or for the next 2 weeks. So if you want to make it happen, this is the day, right? You just directed her. You told her exactly what day you're free. Now it's her coming into your frame. Perfect. In the text, you have to start to somewhere along the line, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 days out in advance, start to flirt with the idea of meeting up. Now, notice you don't just ask directly to meet up, you flirt with the idea of meeting up, saying, hypothetically, if me and you were to meet up, this may be fun. Or if me and you were to meet up, sexual actions might occur. Any way you want to flirt to frame it like that. If you're a cool girl, I could maybe see this going somewhere, as long as you're not super crazy like my ex. As long as you're not super crazy like all the other girls I meet every weekend, right? Something like that. You can say whatever you want. Once again, this is not my specialty, but I'm good enough at it to where I can bridge the gap to make a meetup happen. But once again, it's a lot easier when you have the confidence, because you're building your body, you're on your looks, you're on your money, you're on your status. You got to make yourself manly and high testosterone and all of that first. Super key thing, you guys, flirt with the idea of meeting up. Most guys are too direct and forward, because then you're running too much into that logical brain again. Hey, want to meet up with me at 11 o'clock for brunch, period? Like, that's a total dude text. No, she's not going to say yes to that. She's probably going to fucking not even reply, because she's like, oh, this random stranger asked me to do this. She's going to get all defensive and sucked up. It's because you didn't appeal to her emotion. You didn't apply your game, your tactics. You don't know how to flirt, and you don't have game. You got to fucking learn this stuff. There's no way around it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Module 6 of Week 11. Today we're telling how women will oftentimes use the phone as a buffer. Now, I call these attention whores. You have to realize some women only want validation. You got to remember, women don't always want sex as bad as you do, or from a bunch of people. Women just want to know that they can get sex from anybody. Women have really big egos. You have to tear down that ego. You have to tear it down. Now, there's women that will just play games. There's women that are attention whores. There's women who will just suck the energy and suck the time out of your fingers and keyboard and use you for free attention. She uses the phone as a buffer so that way she doesn't have to see you in real life. And if you run into women like this, you can usually spot it within 4 to 5 days of texting or talking to her. You can usually start to gauge her interest. If this bitch is like really just using you and just talking to another guy to have in her back pocket, or if this is a girl who actually has high interest and will meet up with you. What you must know, though, is that women who are attention whores, we give them no validation. Once we start to get the sense that she's playing games, or she's just talking to talk, or she just replies just to talk to somebody, that's when we cut that shit off. You pull all the way back. If she does have any amount of interest, you got to let her come back to you. And then when she does do that, you have to really frame it in a way that you're not necessarily keen on meeting up with her right away. And why is that? Well, it's because she wasn't compliant to your rules to begin with. The compliant rules that we're following in NLore is that we only deal with women who are high interest. We only deal with women who are submissive. We only deal with women who are kind to us and good to us. And they need to be, because we're on our purpose, we're on our path, we're on our mission. If she wants a strong, dominant, masculine male, she's going to have to be a soft, sweet, feminine, submissive female. End of fucking story. Women use that phone as a buffer. Do not be one of the attention bros that just keeps giving all your attention away. Point blank, period, fellas.